You're listening to Head Voice, bringing you inside the minds of the best in contemporary a cappella. I'm Evan.
And I'm Kayla, and this episode is a second in our Open series. In this segment, we talk to the Nor'easters, Vocal Rush, Woman of the World, Jane, and Legacy. I'd like to give just a quick shout out to everyone who entered the giveaway. We were overwhelmed by all the responses and are very excited to share the winners with you guys today.
So we pulled some names out of a hat last night, and the winners are Philip Torrenueva and Piers Conway. You guys are our winners. We have messaged you guys about getting you your tickets, and we will see you in New York. If you want to stay tuned for when we do the next cool thing like this, make sure that you are following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram if you're not already at headvoicepodcast. There are links below in the show notes. For the episode today, you may notice that you're hearing a lot of my voice, for which I'm very sorry, but Kayla wasn't able to make all these interviews because we were trying to wrangle so many people, but I still think they turned out really well. I know that we also have been asking these same questions to these groups for the past 2 weeks, but we will be returning to regularly scheduled programming next week. But for now, we hope you enjoyed the episode, and we hope to see some of you in New York. We're going to get it started with two very funny ladies from the winners of the Northwest semifinal.
Cool. Thank you guys for joining us. So what is your group name and where are you guys from?
So we are in Jane, and my name is Courtney Jensen, and I currently live in Utah.
I'm Amy Whitcomb, and I also currently live in Utah.
But neither of us are from Utah, and we'd like to make that distinction clear. Yeah, I'm from California.
I'm from Florida.
What are your guys' roles in the group?
I'm music director and soprano.
And I'm the beatboxer and funny one.
She's the class clown always.
Yes, I'm always the one disrupting rehearsal.
Disrupting.
Shut it, Amy.
So next question is, how long has the group been around and how did it start? And then just a side note, I'm just curious where your name came from.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
That is a great question.
Mackenzie explains it best, but
she does.
We'll figure it out. I know.
So we got together for this competition. We literally, there's a noteworthy, so most of us except for one are all BYU noteworthy alumni. And so since I work for Varsity Vocals, I posted about the Open on the noteworthy alumni page, and I was like, let's get a group together, kind of as a joke, but also not really. And then basically, when was it? What month was it?
It was April. It was April 1st. It was my birthday.
Oh my gosh, what a great birthday.
And Mackenzie texted us. She's our choreographer, and she's stupid talented. And she texted us all. She's like, so we're thinking about getting a group together. And I was like, absolutely not. Because I was like, that'll be too much work and whatever. But.
And then I told Mackenzie, I was like, if you can get Amy to do it, I'll do it.
You did not.
I did too. So Amy got on board, and then basically all of us hopped on the train, and we started rehearsing like Nutso Town for semifinals.
Very cool.
And in terms of the name Jane, all of us are either, working professionals to full-time mothers, and we're all in kind of different places in our lives, and so we initially the concept of Jane Doe came around, and then we're like, let's just drop the dough and give kind of a what's the word I'm looking for, but
identity.
Yeah, give an identity, because we all have such different identities and we're in different places in our life, and kind of give an identity to this female who doesn't necessarily have one.
Yeah, the
Jane Doe. Sorry,
kind of our saying, and then the saying that kind of helps maybe bring it home is Jane would be Jane Doe without you, without any one of the girls in the group, we would lose what our real identity is. So kind of each component is really, really important. So it's fun.
That was so good. Thanks. Good team.
Good job, teamwork.
Answer.
Awesome. So how would you describe the sound that you guys are occupying right now, and what you're going for?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Because at first when I was like trying to dream up, I don't know, arrangements and stuff, I knew everybody's voices pretty well. And so just wanted to take advantage of that. And most of my experience is in female a cappella. So I was like, I've learned to just like celebrate the fact that you're all female as opposed to like try to hide it. So I would say that our sound is fairly eclectic, like, because we like to do a lot of different genres, and we definitely include a lot of variety in our set, like fun and sassy
and Power Town and like, yeah,
and like a little sexy.
Yes, but not a lot because we're Mormon.
Yeah. We're like pretty conservative. But I've always been kind of pushing a little. I'm like, you guys, we have to have some sex appeal.
Yeah, because that's just fun.
And celebrate our femininity.
We're pushing ourselves. But no, I think it's hard to define, but we enjoy singing together, and we try to play to the different strengths of all the different girls in the group.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just to kind of go along with that, what do you guys have, like certain influences or certain artists that you look to for inspiration?
Well, I love rock and roll, and that's like really where my voice loves to be. And so I've been pushing the rock and roll aspect a lot.
And it's going great.
It is. It's going great. It's funny. Our first meeting, we just like kind of started a playlist of these songs that were inspiring us at the moment, and things have definitely shifted, but our most important thing is to take something and make it our own. And because you see a lot in a cappella just like straight up imitating or mimicking, and that's not the way that I like to arrange. I like to take it as like a real creative opportunity, and so everybody's been really on board with that. And so yeah, some of our influences are like Heart and Aerosmith, and then like some more pop stuff too.
Yeah.
We've listened like some Ariana Grande and Meghan Trainor, and like trying to take some notes from them, and also like Postmodern Jukebox. I've been getting a lot of like inspiration from all of those covers and that jazziness and that feel and that groove. So
I think
it's fun.
That's a really good comparison, would be Postmodern Jukebox, because I'm like thinking about all our set songs, and I think only one is even similar to the original cover, like to the original.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Otherwise
But the other three are like kind of turned a little bit on their heads, so it's
Yeah.
Cool. So, you guys are, if I may, veterans of the a cappella scene, and you've been on competitions and stuff before. For the group as a whole, have they all competed before, and what are your guys' experiences like with competition?
Good and bad.
All across the board.
For sure.
I think that's why I had anxiety about doing it, because I was like there's just like some trauma from ICCAs that I carry with me. It's not bad though, mostly positive.
Oh yeah. 3 of the girls in the group were in it with me, or I guess there's 3 of us who competed in Noteworthy when we won in 2007. So we know what it feels like to win, and we would like to duplicate that. And that's a direct shout out to everyone else competing. Watch out. But seriously, I love you all, and you're all my best friends. So, and also Rochelle Wofford, she's an alumni of DeVisi, and she went to finals with her group once. And DeVisi also has a very rich history with varsity vocals competitions.
That's a nice way to put it.
They do. I mean, they literally changed it to what it is today because of the whole judging system.
Yes.
So, all of us have competed, but not all of us have succeeded. Ooh, crochet that on a pillow.
That was nice.
Yeah, like that rhymed.
That was really nice.
Thank you.
But I think it's been hugely important that all of us have competition experience, because I don't think we would have been like as successful without that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done, a lot of us have done the sing-off. And other, what?
I'm thinking of the one that's
oh my gosh. Oh yeah. And then Delilah
Germany
did
or something.
in Holland.
Oh, in Holland.
And then we did a TV competition in Holland. A couple of our members, Cassie was with me. It was, you guys, it was the funniest thing ever. We just sang, and then they would give us feedback, but it was all in Dutch, and only I had like an interpreter, but like it's off, and I'm like trying to pay attention, but like trying to listen, so I'm like twitching like while they're giving feedback, and all the other girls are just like, is it good? Is it good?
Is it bad?
But that was fun. Anyway, so Rand, a lot of a lot of a cappella experience, which I think helps a ton.
Oh, for sure. We're definitely comfortable in the genre.
Very cool. So now that it's coming up fairly quickly, how are you guys preparing for the finals?
Let's be honest.
We rehearsed probably 3 to 4 times a week right before semifinals for about 2 months. And since semifinals, I think we've sung the set through maybe once.
That's not true.
Okay, maybe less than 5 times.
We did make changes to our set.
Yeah, we changed a song, but
added a few things.
Yeah.
So,
but in terms of running the full set, we've really run it just a handful of times.
And part of the struggle is because one of our members moved to Florida,
and one of our members lives in Oregon. So there's only 6 out of 8 of us here locally.
So the core 6, we work our butts off and make sure we have it, down pat. But yeah, we're coming out to New York a little bit early so we can all have some time together and just really solidify things. And
I think a piece of this that we haven't really mentioned was just that, having had a lot of competition experience in the past, I know how easy it is to burn out on 4 songs or 3 songs, whatever you're competing with.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes we have right now just 1 rehearsal a week where we get together, and it's a 2-hour rehearsal, and we'll spend 30 minutes of it singing and like an hour and a half of it just like enjoying each other's company. Mm-hmm. And that honestly is like so great.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It is. Well, and that's,
you guys so
I know.
much.
I cry when I think about it too hard. and that's the thing is, because it's so much more than even just music. Like, we will be in major work mode in New York, but at the same time, we never want to not enjoy each other's company because we really are such good friends.
Yeah, or overwork it, because sometimes it can get stale and robotic if you've done it 3 trillion times. So we're trying to just keep it in the 1 trillion.
Yes, keep it fresh.
Yeah, keep it that way. It's not robotic when we get there.
Yeah.
Cool. So speaking of New York, who are you guys looking forward to seeing perform? What else are you looking forward to about, getting out to New York and performing on that stage?
I'm really excited to see Women of the World.
Yes.
I love those ladies, and I had a chance to work with them at #SheSings A Cappella Festival. One of the best a cappella festivals around, and everyone should go to it.
Yes.
And please don't cut this from the podcast, or I'm gonna be pissed at you. And they're just amazing women, and I really look up to them and their musicianship, and also just their positive energy. And I'm really excited just overall to get to hang out with the groups. I think the Open will be a lot different than like ICCA and ICHSA. I spend a lot of time at finals, and oftentimes like a lot of the groups are like separated and too nervous to like interact with each other. And I have a feeling that the Open's going to be a lot different, and because most of the groups are professional.
Yeah.
And I think it's not going to be as nerve-wracking, and we're going to be able to actually engage and create some friendships and have a good time with each other. So I'm excited about that.
I like that.
Yeah.
It really is more like a showcase and of really, really great a cappella. So I'm always excited to hear that and be inspired by that. Mm-hmm. So
for sure. And Carnegie Hall. I mean, can't go wrong.
So final question for you guys. Do you guys have any pre-show rituals or things that you like to do to get pumped up before you go onto stage?
We're pretty big into visualization. So one of the Mackenzie, one of the girls in the group, her dad is what is he?
He's a psychologist.
He's a psychologist. And so he will like record a like 20-minute long visualization for us, and then we'll basically just like listen to it in a circle and just like, center our spirits and our bodies and just like kind of really get into the mindset.
He's amazing.
He's very talented. And he also is like just a super fan, and so he's able to like make it something that's like unique to us, which is really fun.
Yeah.
So we're big into visualization, and
the silent scream.
Oh yeah, shouting without sound.
Without actual sound, to get out a little extra jitters.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of right before we go on stage, we always say a prayer. But that's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try not to get like, you know,
Too crazy.
too crazy.
Too hyped.
I don't even know.
We save the hype for the stage.
Yeah. Just hype it out
Please edit that out.
on stage.
We just hype it out.
Hype it out.
Stage.
Awesome. Well, I know that we are, and I know a lot of the a cappella community are really excited to hear you guys for the first time. So we wish you guys the best of luck in New York.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And now we are moving down the West Coast to talk to the 2017 ICHSA champions.
First question is, what is your group name and where are you guys from?
Group name is Vocal Rush from Oakland, California.
And how long has the group been around, and how did it start?
The group was founded in 2011, and it started as an after-school group, and it grew into kind of a full-time situation.
Very cool. And how would you guys describe Vocal Rush's current sound?
Real.
I would describe it as a voice for change and outside indie pop experimental, maybe.
I'm into that. Do you as a group collectively have any big inspirations for what you do?
Miss Forkish.
Yeah.
For like our set, or like the music that we've been doing right now is really based on like artists who are like trying to send a message. So like one artist that's like often done in Vocal Rush is Lauren Umbula. How do you say her name?
Laura
Umbula, who's a artist from London, and she has a lot of like strong messages, and we do a lot of music by her, and then also like Bay Area artists. So right now we're working on a song. Wait, am I allowed to say this? Yeah. It's not like top secret information. We're working on a song by actually a teacher at OSA who's like a really popular Bay Area performer named Kev Choice, who's also does a lot of like artivism, and he has a lot of really strong messages about how he feels about society and a lot of political things going on. So we try to focus on those types of artists.
Very cool.
Are some of you guys new members for this year?
Yes.
Okay, a lot of you.
Oh yeah,
All right.
there's 12 of us in the group now, and there's 10 new members and 2 returning members.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, so some of, like the 2, including Barbara, I presume, have obviously done competition before. Have you guys done any scholastic competition or anything with music before?
I've never done a competition before, which is why I'm particularly excited for this one. I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a really new and like fun experience.
Last year, Miss Forkish held an after-school a cappella group called She, and we competed as well, and that's what kind of brought me to want to do Vocal Rush, because we got to compete and we won 3rd place, and it was really cool to compete alongside members of Vocal Rush. So yeah.
Last year, I was in the middle school group called Encore, that's at this school, and we participated in a competition in Oregon. What was it called?
The Bend A Cappella Festival High School Championship.
And we won a high school competition, which is really cool.
How often do you guys perform, and what sort of gigs do you guys do?
We perform anywhere from like 3 to 4 times a month, I would say, is like the average, because we've become more popular throughout the years, and 9 times out of 10 it's usually either our own show or it's a corporate event that we're hired for, and it's usually like we're opening the event or we're closing the event, and we're usually used as kind of like the vehicles for change. You know, like we're trying to like make people happy at the end of their long lunch meeting thing. And then we also do a lot of work within the OSA community, and we perform, or we haven't done it yet this year, but we will soon at some point perform at one of our faculty's churches called Heart and Soul, and they are like really involved with us and donate a lot to us, and like always come to our shows and are really supportive. So we definitely like give back, and those are like pro bono. So
Sweet. So how are you guys preparing for the finals?
We've been learning our 3-song set for the competition over the summer also, which is not a norm. Usually Vocal Rush rehearsals don't start until the school year begins, but we actually started rehearsing over summer break, so a lot of us had to make sure we were in town all at the same time to go to our vocal teachers' houses and start learning the set, because the competition is unfortunately happening right when the school year began. So we did not have a ton of time to prepare, but we are getting to it and learning choreography, and yes, it's coming together quite nicely so far.
Y'all are very dedicated. So what are you guys looking forward to about performing on the final stage?
Carnegie Hall.
I was gonna say that I'm like looking forward to like singing with like real like choreography, because like in the not saying that like the other choreography that we've done like before, like some of us were in Vocal Rush, was like fake, but like it was just like it had to be like really like simple enough that like over 100 kids all at once could do it. But since like there's only 12 people, like it's a lot like easier to get more complex with the choreography, and I think it'll also be like really good practice to like sing and dance at the same time. Like I feel like that's like some type of like mental strength that I think a lot of people should have.
This isn't directly related, but I've never been to New York, so I'm really excited to go with like a group that I'm all friends with, and it feels not just like a school trip or like a competition trip, but it feels like a vacation that I would take with my friends, which is really cool.
I'm really excited to be a high schooler performing on that stage and competing against other groups that aren't all high school. And I think that it's going to be really meaningful coming from us, because we're making a statement with our music, like Vocal Rush always does. But it means so much more when we actually have something to say. And so I'm excited to make that statement on stage. And I think it means so much more that we're young people doing it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Who are you guys most excited to see perform and share the stage with?
Women of the world. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like, they came to our school, I think last year, the year before, and did like a short, quick little master class for us at lunch, and it kind of bled over into our class periods, and I was just blown away. And ever since, I've been following them on social media and seen them like started working with other bands. I think now they're in Japan, like Hong Kong right now, touring, and it's just like it's so inspiring. And I know that like Carnegie Hall or the Open is a competition, but like I'm just so juiced to see everybody do their thing.
I'm just really excited to perform with the Nor'easters, because I think their arrangements are super dope and really dynamic, and they're really cool. And whenever I listen to their music, I always feel like really juiced, and like my heart like drops, because it's like so cool. And so yeah.
So our last question is, do you guys have any pre-show rituals that you like to do before you go on stage?
Well, one pre-show ritual that I learned pre-show is that we like all hold hands in this circle, and we all say, I love you and I trust you. And I think that one thing that is really cool about singing groups is like you can feel like their connection through the stage, and I feel like just saying that before reminding ourselves what we feel about each other is really like great, and it like makes the music even better.
In general, before a show, I like the fact that we all kind of have a moment and acknowledge each other as individuals. we have a moment of appreciation for the group before we go on, and I think that really helps us connect on stage as a group, whereas sometimes before shows people can get really flustered and have like mini panic attacks, and then they get too focused on their nerves on stage. But I think that having that moment of appreciation and togetherness before performing really helps everybody stay in the moment and together and support each other on stage.
Definitely. And just hearing you guys talk, you're all wise beyond your years, and we wish you guys the best of luck in New York.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Yeah. Have a great day.
Joining us now, all the way from Japan, one of the members of the New England semifinal champions. So, what is your name and where are you from?
My name is Giorgia Renosto and I'm from Italy.
And what is the name of your group?
Name of my group is Women of the World.
And what is your role in the group?
The singing role is soprano, and sometimes we switch parts, and for other things, I am the business manager of Women of the World.
Awesome. So how long has the group been around and how did it start?
It started at Berkeley as a project of Ayumi Ueda, and she really wanted to sing with many people from all around the world, and now we are entering soon our 10th year.
Wow. You guys have been around a little bit now. You've had some previous experience with competing before?
Yes, we competed in 2014 at the Harmony Sweepstakes, and we won the competition.
Yeah. You guys just wrapped up a tour in Asia, so how often are you guys performing around the world?
Quite often this year we had about 67 shows.
Wow.
Through all the year, mostly in United States. But since last August we went to Europe, and now we finished, as you said, our tour in Asia. We went mostly all over United States. Every 2 years we come to Asia, so it's our third time, and next year we will spend the summer in Europe.
Amazing. So we actually competed at the same semifinal that you guys were at. What was your experience like doing that new competition for the first time?
It's always beautiful to meet people from different groups, and I think that what we like the most is the camaraderie that you can get by the end of the competition. We always learn. We are always amazed by the beauty of the music. And actually, funny enough, I saw you when you were competing. I was one of the judges when you were competing. Where? Remind me. It was. Did you do the harmony sweeps, or you did?
Yeah,
right. So I saw you, and I was very impressed by what you did.
So you guys have been on tour, so obviously been performing a lot. Are you doing anything to specifically prepare for the finals?
Every competition or everything that we do, it's for us is really to present who we are. So the specifics are to have as many languages as possible in those 12 minutes, because this is what we do, and really to grasp the essence of Women of the World, like what we do, which is, to be a bridge for cultures.
Sure. And so what is most exciting you about this prospect of performing with the finals, and who are you excited to see perform, etc.?
Oh, we have many friends that are performing in different groups. We have Courtney that is performing in Jane. We have Rochelle. We have Lisa Forkish that will bring her OSA group. So it's really like meeting people that we know that are usually scattered all around the US and the world. They're coming to the same place. One exciting thing is that, you know, it's the first time that the Opens are that this competition is running. So the beautiful thing is that you are experiencing the thing for the first time. So and of course to perform at Carnegie Hall, it's and the big stage, it's something that it's a dream for everybody. We have a lot of people coming from different parts of the world. We have friends from Japan that are flying in for the competition. I have about 10 friends that are coming from London, Italy, and Spain.
Wow.
So to see the competition, so it's very exciting. It's overall it's a super thrilling experience.
Yeah. So having talked to a lot of the other competitors, I know a lot of them shouted out you guys in terms of the people they were most excited to see, and I think you guys are in a unique position in that you're pretty established at this point. So how would your group use the prize money were you to win?
So we decided that we want in-ear monitors, so that will be our investment if we win the competition. So that's one thing, and then probably we usually support non-profit organizations. So part will go towards there, and part will be with us for any kind of musical experience we would like to do. We would like to go to Africa, and it's a trip that I don't know if will be funded by Women of the World or else, but having aside some money will surely be something important, to have.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned Africa. What are Women of the World's long-term goals looking past, the competition?
Well, I can tell you what are Women of the World dreams.
That's just as good.
The dreams are we would like to visit every 2 years, 3 different countries or 3 different regions of the world. So we have maybe a 2 years plan overall. And we just recorded a live album. It will be out on September 15th. So that's another exciting thing that we will bring to the Opens. It's our live album. And we would like to do also an album with a band. So when we tour Asia, we always have a band. We were 10 on tour. So it's always vocal based, but say that we have musicians as well with us. So to do another studio album with the originals with the band will be our goal, but it's a very long-term goal since we would like to record, single by single and not stress out about having a product and so it's more exploring the rhythms and the harmonies of the world and putting together with original music. And then what else? Of course, maybe win some other prizes. So we would like to do, we are actually doing a competition next July in Europe, which is the Graz competition in Austria. I think that's it. And one of our dreams is to win a Grammy. So the live CD that we did just was submitted to the Academy Awards.
Yeah, well, best of luck with that.
Thank you.
We're right at the end of our little interview here for today. With just a few little light questions to finish it off. Do you guys have any pre-show rituals that you do before you go on stage?
Yes, absolutely. We just create a circle, and we huddle. We just hum together. We try to improvise and breathe together, 3 breaths, and we are in a circle before, and we close the circle right after the performance. So it's pre and post performance.
Yeah. And so the last one is, what is the most memorable thing that's happened to you at a show?
There are so many moments where people give you so much. I don't know. I think it varies. In a competition, for sure, when we won the harmony sweeps, we won both the public vote and the jury. So that for us, when we won the public, that for us was enough, because really we try to get to give something to whomever is listening, and when they announced the winner, we couldn't believe ourselves, not even for the semifinals here at the Opens. In terms of funny moments, when we toured Alaska, we have a song in Spanish that is called Canción del Pájaro, which means the song of the bird. And we ask people to just mimic the sound of a bird. So, and because Alaska, we used to ask, do you have birds here? And they have crow. So they started doing instead of having just a little bird eat. So that was a funny moment, but we have many fun moments. When another beautiful, usually a beautiful moment is when you are really connected through music and the harmonies create a one sound, and there you have you basically have shivers through all your body, and you understand that there is a universal energy that is with you while singing.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys create some new memories to have forever on the final stage, and we wish you guys the best of luck there.
Thank you, Evan.
We're going back out to the West Coast now with the director of the Open Southwest Champions. All right, thanks for joining us. What is your name and where are you from?
My pleasure. Hi, my name is Rob Dietz, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
What is the name of your group?
And my group is Legacy. So I'm the director of Legacy. I guess the full name is Legacy A Cappella, but we usually go by Legacy.
Yeah. And how long has the group been around, and how did it start?
So the group's only been around for 1 year. I started the group in fall of 2016, and the group was originally brought together with several students that I had at A Cappella Academy. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of A Cappella Academy, and I wanted to do something out here. There's not a lot of high school a cappella actually in Los Angeles, oddly enough, because there's a ton of talent here, and I wanted to do something with just the absolute best and brightest that I knew, as kind of a starter group for something that I hoped would continue and get much bigger. And now we're entering our 2nd year, and we have a few new members, and it's really going strong. But the group that competed from the first year is the group that's going to be at Carnegie Hall in a few weeks. So we're really excited to. That's actually going to be the last performance of that iteration of the group. So it's going to be a really, a really kind of bittersweet performance, and a really perfect farewell for those members of the group.
Yeah, definitely. So how would you describe the style that Legacy is kind of going for and is trying to take up?
The goal with Legacy, I think, in the competition set for sure, is really about connecting emotionally. I think it's a fun group, and it's a really close-knit group of friends. And so I would say the general kind of vibe of the group is pop, R&B, soul kind of feel to it. But each member kind of brings their own individual flavor, and I think that the overall effect together is really about channeling their stories together into something that really connects with the audience. So I think we hope that people will really have a lot of fun watching them, and that they'll really feel the honesty of the connection that they have with each other and the connection that they want to make with the audience.
Definitely. Are there any big bands or a cappella groups that are like touchstones for kind of what you're trying to do with Legacy, or is it just a new thing?
In its approach, Aurora a little bit, but not in the like. It's like a much less introspective Aurora, I would say. Just only insofar as I think like, you know, their real sort of like natural, soulful, creative approach to arranging really influenced me, and the way that these young singers kind of approach their own vocals is very similar to the headspace that Aurora's in, but I think the comparison kind of stops there, because certainly the style is very different, and it's not as electronic, and it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more. We're doing an original song in the set, and it's like, you know, it's a dance tune, so it's, you know, it's a really up tempo kind of feel to it.
Sweet. So has the group had any previous experience with competition in the past year?
Very little. It's brand new. So we won the Los Angeles A Cappella Festival competition, and that was back in February. And that was a really awesome experience, and a great sort of coming out party for the group, where everybody got to see them for the first time, and that was our first real performance, and we're really honored to win that competition. But since then, just that, and then the semifinal round here, which was also amazing. And
well, speaking of that semifinal experience, what was that like for you guys, and, you know, going through that kind of experience for the first time with that varsity vocals setting?
Totally. It was great. I mean, the environment at these competitions is always so friendly. It's, you know, the community is always so close-knit and wonderful, and especially in Los Angeles, I mean, everybody I think in every region that does a cappella kind of knows each other, but, you know, particularly in Los Angeles, because there's so many different opportunities here, and people wind up working together in so many different combinations, that everybody really knows each other in a big way. So it was really great to see all of our friends that way, and see the different combinations of groups that they had put together for this show. That was really cool, and there was a lot of talent on that stage, and I think we were really super humbled and blown away to win. And it was a really, I will never forget the moment we were announced as the winners, because on that stage with the talent that was there, to come out you know, as the winners in that context was a real, for me, was a real testament to the talent of these young singers. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. I imagine it must have been a good feeling to like have this idea and then have it, you know, succeed in real life.
Totally. And also, you know, coming into that competition, just, you know, we looked at the competition as just another opportunity to showcase what the group can do. And I think we're looking at it that way for finals as well, of just, you know, we're not we really, I know that sort of sounds cliche to say this, but we really truly feel like we've won by being there already. You know, it's this group of 16 to 18-year-olds, you know, some of whom have never been to New York. You know, they get to, you know, go and showcase what they do on one of the biggest stages in the entire world, and that's, you know, truly a huge win for everybody. So yeah, it was a really humbling, awesome experience.
Totally. So now that finals is rapidly approaching, how are you guys gearing up for that?
Our original, so it's replacing the opener that we had in the first set, and I think, you know, we did our set for semifinals and we felt really good about it, but we felt like we could have come out of the gate stronger, and we felt like we had a little bit more to offer in the opener. And we just started talking about, you know, what could we do in this context to really communicate something unique that is Legacy. And there's a lot of people who write in the group, and I do a lot of songwriting myself. And I said, why don't we just try it? Let's just sit down and see if we can come up with some ideas for an original song that would really kick things off and really feel like us. Yeah. And we came up with this tune, and we're really excited about it. And we just blocked it the other day, and we did it on mic rehearsal for a few hours, and we're feeling good about it. The challenge with this group, you know, I found out, you know, living in Los Angeles, everybody has a million things going on all the time. Right. I've now found that the only people busier than adults in Los Angeles are kids in Los Angeles. If you want to have a real challenge, try to get 7 talented kids in Los Angeles in the same place at the same time, because everybody's doing a million things, and it's amazing, but it's, you know, it is a challenge for rehearsal. So we've had a few great rehearsals leading up to this. We're going to have a little bit of a hiatus leading into the week itself, but, you know, everybody knows what they need to do, and we're going to bring it back together the week leading up, and we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. So who are you personally excited to see perform on that final stage?
I am a huge Women of the World fan. I love them at the Los Angeles Festival 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a few years ago. somewhere in that zone. But they were one of the most unique groups I've ever seen. They really epitomize also what I'm trying to do with Legacy in terms of just that honest, communication and that effortlessness on stage. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them. I'm really looking forward to my group seeing them and getting a little bit more of a sense of what that's all about. And there's also groups that I haven't seen in a long time that I'm really interested to see where they're at now. Transit is one of them. I haven't heard Transit in a long time. Novi, I'm excited to see. That's cool. I've only seen a video of theirs, and there's a lot of talent there. Who else? Vocalite. Yeah, so I'm excited to see Vocalite. Vocalite's awesome because they're another group of all A Cappella Academy alumni. So we have two groups that are all made up of people who've been through the A Cappella Academy program, which is super cool. And I remember actually, competing at Laugh Out here. It was really awesome. Probably more than half of the groups that competed at Laugh this year had somebody from A Cappella Academy involved in some way. And it was just really, it changes the vibe of competition too, because it's just like, we're all part of this family and we get to see each other in this context. And, there's friendly competition, but it's like, we're also excited to see each other succeed and see what each other can do. So I'm really excited to see, what Vocalite's going to do. And I don't know, I may have arrangements for them in the show. I'm not sure. I've arranged a lot for them. I arranged the Rise Up video that they put out recently. I don't know if that's in their set or not. So I may get to see what they do with some of my stuff there too, which would be pretty awesome.
That'd be amazing. So what, looking forward, are kind of your long-term goals for the group, and how would or would not $25,000 play into that? My long-term goals for Legacy, so I have sort of short long-term goals for Legacies and long-term goals for Legacies. My long-term goal for Legacy is that hopefully eventually I'd like to actually build it into a program that is both a small contemporary group and a larger contemporary choir, because that's part of what I'm really interested in, is getting more of that contemporary a cappella sound into the more classical choral setting, so blending those two approaches in a way that is a little bit more accessible for young singers who love choral music but also love pop music, aka pentatonics, and reaching out to more of those kind of people. So the long-term goal is that we'll have this smaller select pop group, but then you'll audition to get into that from a larger group that you also get into. So I get to kind of train you up in that group a little bit first. That's the long-term goal. In the shorter term, I just want to get more people auditioning for Legacy. We've got a lot of talent right now, pulling a lot of talent from Academy, but I know there's a lot more in the Los Angeles community. So I want to do a lot more outreach this year, and I want to do a lot more community performing, so that these singers can get more experience in the community and the community can see them. That's the shorter term goal. And I think in terms of the money, my big thing is the money would let us do more with the tech side of our performance. That would be what I would spend that on. If we were fortunate enough to win, I would love to have the right gear for this group so that they can be equally comfortable and impressive in all performance environments, that we're not relying on whatever gear we come into, and that we would potentially have a rig that we could take with us for community gigs and stuff like that. I think that would be really huge for this group, and we'll win, lose or draw, we'll get there eventually, but that's definitely something that I think resources I would put towards right now to make sure sound gear, in-ears, all of that stuff, so that they can they can practice like they perform and perform to their absolute best in all the different environments that they'll be in. Yeah, totally. And so we're right at the end of our little interview here for today. I'm just wondering, the last little fun question, is there any pre-show ritual that you guys have established before you perform?
I mean, the tradition, the de facto tradition so far has been to sit in a really hot room and get really hot. That's just been the venues that we've been in so far. It seems like every single time we're gearing up for performance, we're always like, oh man, it's so hot back here. I actually, for semifinals, I went out to CVS and I bought a fan because our dressing room was so hot. It was so hot downstairs in that theater. And I went out and just bought a fan, and we all just sat around the fan and just talked about how hot we were. But we also do a lot of just talking about the songs and getting into the right headspace. And I think for Carnegie Hall in particular, it's going to be such a different stage than they've ever been on. So I want to make sure that we're going to want to make sure that we're comfortable communicating in that space, in a much larger space and a much taller space, certainly than they've ever been in before. So we'll do a lot of talking and a lot of getting in the right zone. But it's really at the end of the day, it's really all about trusting the preparation, and in that moment, just being in the right headspace to communicate what you wanna say.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Rob, for joining us. We wish Legacy, obviously, the best of luck at finals.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me. And if anybody else is listening who's competing, good luck. We're so excited to see you guys, and it's going to be a really fantastic show. I can't wait.
And to close it out, we've got two members of a group that almost needs no introduction, the 2017 ICCA champions. Alrighty, so what are your names and where are you from?
My name is Anthony Rodriguez, and I am from Norwood, Massachusetts.
And my name is Sofia Berg, and I'm from Westboro, Massachusetts.
Sweet. And what is the name of your group?
The Nor'easters.
And what are each of your roles in the Nor'easters?
I'm the president.
And I am the business and brand manager.
And how long has the group been around?
The group has been around actually for 20 years, starting this as of 2017.
Sweet. And how would you guys describe the Nor'easter style and aesthetic?
The best descriptor is probably intensity. I feel like we bring a really intense and powerful component to our music, to our look, to our vibe, to the sets that we perform, and it tends to set us apart.
So obviously you guys competed at ICCA finals and you guys won there. Have you guys ever competed in competitions outside of the ICCA before?
Not while we've been in the group. Well, we did do the Faneuil Hall competition last fall, but in terms of a organized, like full-fledged, multiple round competition, not while we've been in the group. The group has, in previous years, performed at SoJam. They've gone to Laugh. But yeah, during our time, the ICCA is the only competition that we've partaken in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So what was finals experience like for you guys this year?
It was pretty unreal. This was my first time competing in the ICCA, and I think coming into the group, you always hear about the 2013 group. You know, the last time they won was in 2013, and it was always this big thing. And when we decided to compete, it was a big moment of the group was a little split. We weren't sure if we wanted to do it, and once we decided to fully commit to this competition, we were all in it. And then we worked so hard, so many hours a week of rehearsals. We really members stepped up to the plate and really brought something really special, and we were able to combine our ideas and collaborate and work off of each other to create the set that we have. And then to be acknowledged for all that hard work and make it just making it to finals was honestly enough for me. And then the fact that we were able to win that was just the icing on the cake, and I feel so lucky and so honored to be a part of this group and to be recognized for that hard work that we all put in.
Yeah. And you guys are kind of uniquely positioned in this open competition because you guys are automatically competitors. There wasn't an extra process on top of the ICCA process. So how are you guys gearing up for this competition and performance?
Well, since we're a collegiate group, there has been zero opportunity to rehearse over the summer. We're all kind of scattered all over the map, all over the globe when we're not in school. So we are starting rehearsals tomorrow. So we've given ourselves a week and a few days, but we are relatively keeping our set very similar to the spring, so we're hoping that everything's just gonna click into place and it's gonna be muscle memory, and we're fortunate enough to have our alumni in the Boston area and be able to work with them, so yeah, we're pumped.
Cool. So you guys are also going through auditions right now, and the new members are just gonna kind of watch things happen.
We're teaching them everything. They are not performing with us on stage at the Open just because that's some crazy learning that they'd have to do. But I'm sure they're capable. They're all incredible musicians. We're really excited to announce who they are tomorrow.
Yeah, we just got back from our callbacks last night at 3 a.m.
3:30.
It's 3:30 a.m. So deliberating, but we are really excited to announce them tomorrow, and I cannot wait for them to be a part of this process of the Open, and then the further process of just being in this group, and so it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So what are you guys most excited for about performing at this stage with these groups, and who are you excited to see perform, stuff like that?
I personally am so excited to see all of the groups perform. I'm really excited to see Vocal Rush. We've had a joint concert with them at Pitch Slap's album release concert, but I was not able to stay for the show because I had a midterm. So I'm really excited to see their set. I've heard incredible things. I think we're all excited to see all the competitors. It's really exciting to perform alongside professional groups and a high school group. Like, it's crazy the amount and the range of talent that's going to be on the stage at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, I think also just having the opportunity to perform at such a legendary space of Carnegie Hall, that is such an honor, and not many people can say that they've done that. So we are so excited to perform in New York City once again, but this time just as an amazing space as the Beacon. Yeah, so
definitely. And again, I think you guys are uniquely positioned in that as a collegiate group, there's the restrictions of being in college to be in your group on some level, and so there's the cash prize of $25,000. So were you guys to win, have you had discussions about how you'd use that? Or
as business manager, there are many ways I could think of how to spend that money. I really think the group would use it more towards content production, traveling, being able to travel further for gigs, and just have fun and be able to spend some deserved money.
Yeah, and so you guys have kind of achieved a lot at this point, with winning finals and then your new album and all these things happening. So what are the short and long-term goals that you guys are kind of positioning yourself for?
Well, I mean, we actually, before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty stuff of the year, we always have a big group meeting, and we talk about our goals and our expectations of the year. And we always kind of start with, we want to continue to create a family, because the Nor'easters, above anything else, is about family and about creating a really stimulating musical environment, but also a good social environment. And we love to support each other. So definitely, some goals that we have is just to continue to foster a good and social environment and just a productive,
workflow.
Right, exactly.
But we also talked about traveling and trying to find more opportunities elsewhere outside of Boston. We tend to be kind of pigeonholed into certain gigs, and while they're incredible and we've had such a great experience, we also are planning a trip abroad for the spring. There's a lot, and I think everyone's really excited for what the year is going to hold.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, so just a few last questions here. Do you guys have any pre-show rituals before you take the stage?
Lots of tea and honey, some cough drops, but herbal.
Couple face masks.
Always herbal, never menthol.
Never menthol. Don't get menthol cough drops.
And we always like to we do this thing called a show circle. We have a very specific version of doing it, but we kind of huddle up and we go around the circle and say something nice about the person on your left. And then we go around the circle and everyone kind of says something nice about someone. And it's just a really nice way to feel appreciated, because sometimes in the leadership roles and other roles like choreography or whatever role you may take on in the group, sometimes it's a thankless job and you do it just for the love of your heart. But then when you hear a member say that they really do appreciate what you do for this group, it makes it all worth it. So that's a really cool tradition we have.
Yeah. And then one last cheesy morning radio style question. What's like the craziest or most memorable thing that's happened to you guys at a show or outside of a show?
I can think of a few, but I'll give you one. So throughout our competition season last year, 2017, we had this one little girl. Her name was Piper.
Oh, Piper's the best.
She for quarterfinals and semifinals, she drew us a picture of our group and various words saying "Go Nor'easters" and we're rooting for you. And we've never met her.
No one knows Piper, but we got to meet her, and it was like the most incredible experience.
I still saved the pictures. I have it on my wall in my bedroom, and that was just so cool to know that we're kind of reaching even the little kids, and that we're meaning something to them is really special.
I think also another point would be all of our alumni that came out to support us in New York at finals. It was insane how many of our Nor'easter alumni came through and supported us and cheered us on and hung out with us afterwards and sent us good vibes during, and it was incredible to feel like you have the support system right off the bat that you don't have to like look for. They're just there no matter what, and it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, and I think in addition to the alumni, there's going to be a lot of people rooting for you guys in just a few weeks here, so I wish you guys the best of luck at finals.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Evan.
If you've made it this far, bless your little heart. Thanks for listening to all of this, and we hope we'll see you next week on Head Voice.
Without you